Hey everyone, it's Marianne from the New York City Organization of Public Service Retirees. I have two messages today. I'm going to keep this one short. The first message is for Anthony Wells, Local 371, DC37. So I understand that at the civil service meeting held by Anthony Wells, his quote was this. He said, Henry did a great job, but the retirees did an even greater job at spreading misinformation about the Medicare Advantage plan. So, Anthony, for almost 2 years, we have been challenging all of the unions to fact check everything we say. We've thrown down the gauntlet several times. We've asked you. We've put out facts. We put out facts a day, one fact a day, 60-second videos. I've done emails sent to you too, my dear, asking you to fact check everything we say. And never once did any one of the 100-something unions in the city ever fact check us. You know why? We fact check ourselves. We cite and source everything we say. You can't say that we haven't done our homework, because we have. So I'm going to challenge you one last time, my friend. Tell me what we lied about and put it in the comments. Email me, call me, anywhere you want, anyhow you want. I'll take your message. I'll take your call. My phone's right here, anytime you want. Tell me what we lied about. Tell me what misinformation we spread. I'm waiting. Please. The second was CWA, Local 1180. This is not the first time Ms. Middleton likes to put out misinformation about us, but here we are, ready to debunk it again. So in her newsletter of late, she says one of her biggest hurdles of 2022 was a resolution to healthcare. Well, you basically made a resolution to kill healthcare, girlfriend. The Medicare Advantage plan has been challenged at every turn and continues to be a persistent issue. Well, you know what? Usually when people do some things that are wrong, that usually is a sign, because if you keep having to jam a square peg into a round hole and recognize it doesn't fit, usually the commonsensical solution is to go back and change the plan, solution, what you're doing, because it's not working. Because in this situation, this is how ugly labor unions today are, right? We are labor, we are union, we are retired labor, we earned our Medicare. And let me tell you where you're wrong, sister. 2 courts and 6 judges affirmed a law that's been on the books since 1967, which clearly you don't know about. And after affirming that decision, what did you do? You, Ms. Middleton, Mr. Wells, DC37, Mr. Mulgrew, Harry Nispoli, and a bunch of other unions, what did you do? You tried to get around 2 courts, 6 justices. You tried to change the law that we won our lawsuit on that protected us all equally. You tried to lie and compel a body of 51 legislators to do your dirty work with a scheme with an arbitrator telling them that they must do things or bad things would happen. You lied to everybody. Who does that? And if it was so horrible and there were so many mistruths, what, did we convince or bribe two courts and 6 judges to affirm a law? You know what really the case was? You guys knew you violated the law. You guys knew you were doing something you shouldn't have been doing. You all knew that you were trying to get around the law to make 51 legislators change a law that you knew you broke. And because of all the 250,000 something retirees that you no longer represent under the law, you knew you could do what you wanted to do, because they no longer answered, you no longer answered to them, they no longer paid dues to you. And see, we're more concerned about the viability of labor and union in New York City than you are, because we're fighting to protect us all, active workers and retirees equally, where you're trying to give up, sell off what we've had. And this is a shame. And this is how your letter goes on. It says that we are hopeful that as the new year begins, the resolution is near. The resolution of what? Trying to sell off your retirees into privatized Medicare Advantage plans? Diminishing our health care. So much so that you were trying to compel Aetna to get rid of the prior authorizations that you put in place, on top of the co-pays that you put in place that are bankrupting our retirees and forcing them not to seek the care that they need just to get your way, right? And then you say we're an independent and well-funded retiree group has done everything in its power to spread abundant mistruths about a situation that has been caused by a malfunctioning healthcare system across our country, with pharma and hospital corporate greed making a bad situation even worse. Gloria, I need to sit down with you because you are selling us off to big corporate insurance. And you all sold us off to pharma by using Medicare Advantage silver scripts by Aetna. You didn't think we knew that either, because those are federally subsidized as well. Because Henry is getting the money from the federal subsidy from putting us in silver scripts, which is a Medicare Advantage drug plan. You didn't know that either, did you? That the formulary constantly changes and doesn't accept our medications, right? But you think you know everything. And then you want to know why we're well-funded? You pissed the hell off of a lot of retirees by taking what we earned. This is our Medicare. We've been paying for Medicare since we started working. And you want to take it away from us because Medicare Advantage is not Medicare. It is private insurance. So much so that in case you haven't read the contract with the vendors, there's gain sharing provisions in there, which means the more profit the insurance makes, a cut goes back to the city, which comes to you. That's what you wanted. You sold us off for profit margin to fund your welfare funds and the stabilization fund. And you don't even know what you're doing. So are we independent? Yes, we are. Because we are not blinded by loyalty to a union that is selling us off. We are retired labor. We were once you, and one day you will be us. And when if this ever goes through the way you want it to, you will be really sorry the day that you realize what you did to us, which now you will have to live with. Because once you give up these benefits, you will never get them back. And you open the door to taking away from a retiree today, tomorrow, they're coming for our Medicare B reimbursement and our spousal coverage. And then we will all find you and say, thank you, Gloria, because this is what you did. Thank you, Anthony, because this is what you did. Thank you, Henry, because this is what you did. And you allowed Michael Mulgrew and Henry Garrido and Labor Relations to convince you to do it. And you won't even pick up the phone, Gloria, because I've tried to call you several times. You want to malign us in your paper or malign me in your paper. But you won't speak to us. So I challenge you to tell me what mistruths you have made, we have made. What mistruths did we spread, Gloria? Because we can fact check and cite and source everything we've said about Medicare Advantage plans. And don't go telling me that this is a customized Medicare Advantage plan only available to the City of New York employees, retirees. You're right, it is available, this one, because behind every one of these Medicare Advantage plans is another plan, customized especially for your union, whether it's SAG-AFTRA or AT&T or Verizon or whatever. But you know what makes it different? They're all the same. What makes them different are the perks. The Fitbit, the silver sneakers, the 12 rides you get to the doctor a year. We'll send you a little package box of meals for when you get out of the hospital, which you're going to need prior authorization for. Do your homework. Go back and read the contract. It is. Reading is fundamental. We keep telling you. It's a 700-page contract. Go read it. And if you get the Aetna contract, you better be reading that too. And if you can't understand it, my team would be glad to sit down with you and explain it page by page. because we went over that 700-page contract that the Alliance gave, the one that you voted on without ever seeing the contract. And I can show you all the gain sharing provisions and how the costs would change as people drop out of it. But you have to ask yourself, if you have to force someone into a single healthcare plan against their will, penalize them with copays and premium if they opt out of the plan you want them in, how is that choice? And for someone who makes under $12,000 pension or an under $35,000 pension, who can't afford the premium you were trying to force on them at $200 a month per person, you tell me, is that really a choice? No, it's not. So who's spreading the mistruths, Gloria? Anthony? Henry? Not us. 2 courts, 6 judges, the entire city council chose not to do your dirty work and stand by a law that's been on the books since 1967 that protected us all equitably. And what did you do? Try to change the law, then try to kill our healthcare plans and lie to us. So you tell me, who's on the right side and who's on the wrong side of this history? Because it's not us. And you. And until you get on the right side of this, we're going to stay well-funded, and we're going to stay independent, and we're not going to be threatened by you or anybody else. You know where to find me. Hope you decide to talk and actually learn about this, because we've been willing to sit with you and discuss it. You're being lied to and misled, and you keep lying about us. But the difference is, I've challenged you all to fact check us and tell us where our mistruths are. So I ask you one last time, please tell me in the comments below or email us and tell us exactly what our mistruth is. What is our misinformation and where are we lying? Have a great day, Gloria. Anthony. See you on the other side of history.